Ahead, the big winners on day one of NHL free agency on Canada Day. But first, a teenager fulfills a dream.
Yeah, before we go blue line and kick save, we go baseline and kick serve. Wimbledon, a 15-year-old stuns a 5-time champion. Venus Williams, you know, Corey Goff, you will get to know. First round, Williams facing the teenager who's ranked 313th in the world. Venus Williams won Wimbledon twice before Coco Gauff was born. First set, Gauff up 4-3, serving at 30-15. Gauff with the backhand. Williams reaches, but did the hustle, but wasn't enough. Here, Venus Williams. Venus Williams is 39 years old, by the way. If you're wondering what the age difference is. Got to it once, couldn't get to it again. Gauff up 5-3, now 5-4, set point. 2 words you never want to see on a tennis shot sheet. Long rally. Williams backhand into the net. Gauff just 2 unforced errors in the first set. She wins the first set, but Venus Williams is tied for second for the most wins after losing the first set in the Open era. So she's the queen of the comeback. In the second set, we're tied at 4. Give you some betting perspective here. Venus was minus 330. You had to bet $330 to win 100. Gauff was plus 270. You bet 100, you win 270. She's up 5-4. Match point. Parents looking on. I mean, she grew up her idols, Venus and Serena Williams.
Perfect.
And she's going to win this match. She's the youngest woman to win a match at Wimbledon since Jennifer Capriati in 1991 when she advanced to the semis. Parents go crazy. Venus Williams was just gracious in defeat. 6-4, 6-4, your final game, set, match.
She played so well. Even all the shank balls went in. So I actually didn't play well. So it was a contrast of both sides. She did everything well today. I mean, she put the ball in the court, which was much better than I did. And serve well, move well. It was a great match for her.
After a match, I told her that just thank you for everything she did. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for her. And I was just telling her that she's so inspiring. And I always wanted to tell her that. And even though I met her before, I guess now I had the guts to. Honestly, I don't really know how to feel. This was definitely the first time I ever cried after a match, or winning. Obviously, I've cried when I lost before, but I don't even know how to explain how I feel.
Well, she has a sense of history, and now she's made history. Mark's only the second time Williams has been beaten in the first round at Wimbledon since her 97 debut. Coco Gauff ranked 313th in the WTA rankings, but she was the International Tennis Federation's #1 player in the junior division. She won the French Open girls single title in 2018, and she's the youngest woman to qualify to Wimbledon in the Open era. Pam Shriver on line 1.
Coco Gauff's victory over Venus Williams in the first round of Wimbledon tells us once again that a 15-year-old can have impactful wins at major tournaments. We used to see it all the time in the 70s, 80s, and 90s. 14, 15, and 16-year-olds having these kinds of huge wins at majors. We can have it again. You could see her physicality, the power on her serve, her speed about the court. She was just better than Venus Williams in every compartment of the game. She beat one of her all-time idols and one of the greatest figures in women's tennis in the first round at Wimbledon.
Well, let's go by the numbers for Coco Gauff. And the first one you got to go is 15. That's how old she is. And she's the youngest lady to win a main draw match at a Grand Slam since 1996. I believe that was Anna Kournikova. Second number is 2. 2 American women have beaten Venus Williams at Wimbledon. Serena Williams 4 times, 3 coming in the finals. And now Coco Gauff, who again is ranked 313th in the world. And the final number is 4. That's how many majors Venus Williams won before Gauff was born. That includes 2 Wimbledon titles. Venus now has 7 majors total.
I'm not the one on the top. We've been it before. You know what I did. I'm on my job. I'm doing my thing. I'm flex on you boys. I'll do it again. They said whatever. And I don't just talking. You should score. I'm going in.
How about the second day of free agency? Still saw several players move. The Heat completing a 4-team trade to sign Jimmy Butler to a 4-year, $142 million deal. Hassan Whiteside headed to Portland, and Josh Richardson will be in Philly. Klay Thompson agreed to a 5-year, $190 million max contract to stay with the Warriors. Golden State will also bring back Kevon Looney on a 3-year, $15 million deal. That's hockey money. Isaiah Thomas agreed to a 1-year deal with the Wizards. Thomas has played only 44 games over the last 2 years, and this will be his 4th team in the last 3 seasons. And Enes Kanter agreed to a 2-year, $10 million deal with the Celtics. Boston lost Al Horford in free agency and traded Aaron Baines, so this helps to fill that void at center. We need to make it all make sense. We're now joined by our Brian Windhorst.
Talking to the wrong person.
All right, there's one player out there. He happens to be very popular. He's Kawhi Leonard. Any gut feeling, Brian, where he's going to end up?
Well, I can't tell you, Linda, how many people, owners, general managers, agents, players who are asking this question. This is a huge demand for information. The expectation is that he will meet with the Raptors last, and he has not met with the Raptors yet. That doesn't mean that he will follow through with that. That doesn't mean that he won't meet with the Raptors at some odd hour, at some odd place. But I have to be clear here. This is one of the murkiest free agencies that we've had in the last decade, which means they're doing a good job, and they're keeping their decision close. So I don't think it's going to happen real quick, but honestly, I'm only making an educated guess.
All right, at least the Clippers have some hope. Can't say the same about the New York Knicks, right? I mean, they're fans, and I'm one of them. Very disappointed could not get Kyrie and KD. They are Brooklyn Nets, but the Knicks did make some moves. What do you think about them?
Yeah, they had already moved on by Sunday night. They knew they weren't getting either of the players, and they had lined up these guys that they were going to sign. They'd lined up all the meetings Sunday night to get it done. And they made the decision that they're going to enter into essentially 1-year contracts with all these guys. All their second years are team options, with the exception of Julius Randle. And so they have a lot of flexibility. If some of these guys work out, they can keep him. If not, they can let him go. And they made another decision. They didn't want to take on players that other teams are trying to give away to get draft picks. I know that would have been tempting to do, but they don't want players on their roster who are not helping their young players. They don't want to house anybody's other contract problem. They do have a plan. I've sat there and I've listened to their plan. Their plan may work, it may not, but I do see a coherent strategy that they have. It just happens to be difficult to live in that world right now, Linda, where the crosstown team just got 2 major stars.
All right, now let's think. You said go west, young man. Let's talk about the team in the Western Conference, Brian, that made the best move so far.
Well, I reserve the right to change my mind to the Lakers if Kawhi picks them, because they would have one of the greatest offseasons in history. The Utah Jazz, quietly and efficiently, have been terrific. Getting Mike Conley, then adding Bojan Bogdanovic. Those are 2 starters that are going to help them dramatically. They're going to be one of the best two-way teams in the league, offensively and defensively. This is the type of team that finishes in the top 10 in offense and defense. That's what championship-level teams do. And they went out very quietly and added late last night Ed Davis, quality backup center. Nothing that is going to explode on the front end of SportsCenter with breaking news, but really smart, terrific moves by Dennis Lindsay and his staff.
All right, when there is breaking news here, you'll have it for us. But in the meantime, any minute,
or not.
In the meantime, I recommend you get some sleep.
Thank you, I will.
All right, Brian Windhorst with the latest. We're only a couple of days into free agency, and $3.3 billion with a B have already been spent on players. That's already the second most in one summer in NBA history. The most came in 2016 when teams spent $4.1 billion. And coming up, Nick Friedel tells you why the Warriors made the move to acquire D'Angelo Russell, and Tim Legler on why the Lakers don't need Kawhi to be considered the favorites in the West. Stay tuned.
Angels pitcher Tyler Skaggs died Monday. He was 27 years old. Found unresponsive in his hotel room in Texas where the Angels were scheduled to play. The game was canceled. The Angels are Anaheim's team, and it's a close-knit group. That area, that team, the fans, the Halo hunks. Skaggs was not only beloved, but he was local. A Santa Monica high school kid who got drafted 15 picks after Mike Trout in 2009. Roomed with him in the minors. Tommy John surgery interrupted some of his pitching dreams. Monday, all his dreams died. Outside of the Big A, Skaggs memorialized. He pitched 5 of his 7 big league seasons for the Angels. On the Angels radio station, the host himself had to choke back tears. Skaggs remembered as a fan favorite, never turning down an autograph request. Neither foul play nor suicide is suspected, and an investigation is ongoing. Mike Trout went to Twitter. Words cannot express the deep sadness we feel right now. Our thoughts and prayers are with Carly, that's Tyler's wife, and their families, remembering him as a great teammate, friend, and person who will forever remain in our hearts. We love you, 45. Tim Kirchin joins us. And Tim, when somebody mentions the name Tyler Skaggs, you will tell them what?
I'll tell them he's a really good kid who went far, far too soon. I had a long talk with him one day about all the injuries that he's fought through in his career, about finally getting a chance to go back to Southern California to the Angels, where he played and where he grew up.